So I notice when you go on YouTube, they try to make mythology when it comes to Egypt very convoluted and very contradictory. So I'm here to kind of help navigate you to understand what's the real lore and where the mythology actually originated from and what ultimately became a plagiarized version. The reason why I think that you should know all of this is because when you do get into Egyptian mythology, you'll notice that every deity with a Jekyll head, or every deity that is associated with the old Kemetic earlier origins stories, have now become enemies to the falcon heads, or the falcon headed deities. So every Jekyll now is bad, which is not true. They are actually good, and they flip the story just like they did in the Bible, telling us that we were not the first civilization, that the first civilization actually started with Nebuchadnezzar and David. And we know that's not the truth. We know that's not the truth because we know that the first person, the first sapien, was found 2 million years ago, and that was in Ethiopia. But we ultimately moved away from the Mediterranean area to the sandy area, the desert, where Egypt is. So that's why now in Egypt mythology, the desert represents barren, because everything that has to do with black people or Africans or ancient civilization has been demonized, because they are now trying to promote Zionism. Before there was an Egypt, it was Kemet, and they were all one kingdom. There was no upper or lower kingdom. But in the place where they call the upper kingdom, that is where Set, or Seti, which means darkness or dark-skinned people, that's when we ruled the empire of Kemet. So whenever you see a deity with a Jekyll head, that's a representation of the Seti people, or the Jekyll head meaning protector, because we believed, and Anubis believed, the people who worshiped Anubis, all of that was about the dogs being the protectors of our tombs, because there were always savages and, you know, birds and all kind of things that would come and desecrate our tombs, because we would bury our bodies, mummified bodies, in sand, not sarcophaguses. We didn't do that because sand was a natural preservative. So whenever you find a pharaoh who's buried in sand, those are usually your Kemetic first dynasty, early dynasty people. So I said all of this to say this. It's very simple. Whenever you see wings, whenever you see a bird head in a deity, that is the Macedonian Greek deities that had ultimately taken over the upper kingdom, and that's when it became Egypt. Hopefully that helps. If not, I'm sorry, but I did my best.